Hi, I'm here with Cayla King, who's currently in Australia, and I want to ask you how's the weather in Australia and how are you feeling? How are you adjusting to life in Australia in general?
It's nice. They're supposed to be going into winter right now, so I expected it to be a little colder. But the sun's out. It's still pretty nice to me. I think it's about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is probably like 23, 24 Celsius. So that's one adjustment. Getting used to Celsius, America's got to be different. But no, the weather's really nice and I've been enjoying the sun, the beaches. I'm along the coast, um, getting some time to sightsee and everything. And, my teammates have been very nice showing me around, and I've been really enjoying it.
Okay. And how did you end up in Australia?
Through my agent, Taurus, he found this team for me, and I thought it would be a really good opportunity. Like, it's our summer back home, but I know a few of my friends who have played in the Australian League. And they loved it, and I thought to give it a chance.
Okay, okay, because you're playing currently in the NBL One, right?
Yes.
And where can people watch you play? Because there's a
Um,
lot to
mhm,
watch. I just want to get to
yeah.
the last game. 31 points, 10 boards.
Mhm.
Awesome game. So where
Yes,
can
thank
people
you.
watch you play?
There's an NBL One app and website, and all of the team's games are live streamed on there for free. Um, so it's pretty actually easy to access. All my family and friends back home can watch. But through their app, you just find the league the team's in, and it's West or East, and my team's in the West, but every game is live streamed there, and you can watch replays, and it's a really good app.
Okay, okay, awesome. And so you said that your family is watching your games. Is your
Mhm.
family like very hands-on when it comes to your career? Meaning, do they give you suggestions as to what you could have done better or what you maybe did good, and they praise you for certain plays? Are they like analytical like that, or are they more like just watching you play, proud
Um,
of you, just watching you
at this
about your
point
game?
in my life, they're just happy for me and like want me to be happy playing, and as long as I'm enjoying it over here, they're happy, of course, because I'm so far from home. Um, my dad he coached me growing up, so he knows the ins and outs, and if I want advice, he's there to give it to me, but he also knows if I just want him to be my dad for the moment, that's what he can do. So he can be coach or dad, whatever I'm I'm in the mood for. And but they'll give me advice if I want it, and if I just want to talk to them after having a rough game, like they're just there to talk to me. So they're just my biggest supporters right now, and
Okay.
just enjoying watching me play.
Okay, awesome. So, was your dad the first person who put the basketball in your hands, actually?
Yes,
Okay,
definitely.
okay,
I don't even have a distinct memory because he probably did it before I could crawl or walk, but he played basketball growing up. He played at D3 in Connecticut, and then he actually played in England for a year. Um, so he coached me all growing up. I started AAU, which is like our summer league
hmm,
basketball, when I was in second grade, and he was assistant coaching with one of my friend's dads all the way through high school. He coached at my high school, to help me, so he's been a big part of my basketball life.
okay. And I mean, the results are visible because already your high school coach, Darlene Joyner, described you as a jack of all trades when you were just 15 years old. So was
Mhm.
your dad the person who instilled in you the mentality to just do those little things that
Mhm.
not all players could or would do?
Yeah, I think a lot of it, especially when we were young, our AAU team, him and like our other coaches, they were never the type to let a kid know how many they scored after a game, or points wasn't all the praise, and a lot of it was defense and rebounds, and doing like you said, like the little things, passing the ball, moving it around, kind of just being a leader on the team. And I think a lot of our girls on that same team had a lot of success growing up and going to college and being a player that does a lot of the little things that sometimes don't show up in the stats or necessarily in points scored. But I think from a young age, we were like taught how to play all around basketball, and I think that definitely benefited me growing up and going to college and now overseas.
Hmm. Okay. And as a freshman in high school, you joined a team of veterans. Was it a helpful experience, or was it too much pressure, like judging from your perspective, or was it too much pressure put on such a young kid to just, join a team that's well established and just
Mhm.
adapt?
I think I might have been a little intimidated at first, being new to the team. Me and Elizabeth Kitley were actually the
Hmm.
only two freshmen on the team, and I think they had six seniors. So we came in, and they were actually very, nice to all of us and showing us the ropes. And um, especially Coach Joyner and the girls were like, yeah, like you guys don't have to feel like you're freshmen. You guys are both really good, and you can help this team. So I think after a few games, we realized like we belong and we're good. And it was less who's senior, who's a freshman, and we all just wanted to win. And I think even though I was younger, it made me grow up a little bit, a little faster, being around girls who have, been in high school for 4 years, and I got to learn a lot from them. And I think it was, yeah, like I said, intimidating at first, but
Hmm.
after a few games, I was good and I was ready and excited to play with them.
Okay. And I want to ask you, because you already mentioned Liz, when did
Mhm.
relationship start? Did the relationship start in high school or in AAU? In high school.
So high school, we didn't know each other. We went to different middle schools just from where we lived, and then we ended up going to the same high school. Freshman year, we weren't too close because we had just met each other, and then that
Hmm.
summer after she joined my AAU team, my dad finally convinced her to join AAU with us, and that was when we got really close that summer. And then ever since then, just playing high school and then through basketball, like outside of the court, we were always together. But that summer after freshman year of high school is when we became like really close friends, and since then we've been best friends.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you guys both decided on Virginia Tech.
Hmm.
Was it by design, or were you both individually like impressed with the facilities and the school?
We were both individually impressed. I think a lot of people assumed we talked about it a lot, but I think we both wanted each other to make our own decision, because choosing your college is a big decision and has a lot of influence on, what you do the rest of your life. And so we kind of course, in the back of our heads, I think we thought it would be really fun to play together. We really enjoyed high school together. But I committed first. I committed, I think, the summer before my junior year, so that was pretty early. And then I think she followed up a few months later. But as soon as she committed and said she wanted to go play there too, I was definitely really excited, and I know the staff was really excited. But the staff, they impressed us, and Coach Brooks, he really like recruited us separately and wanted it known that he wanted both of us for our own reasons, that we weren't a package deal. And um, I loved like the family atmosphere there, and just felt like it would be a good place to be, like a home away from home.
Okay. And obviously having Liz there helped a lot, right?
Yes,
Uh,
helped with my adjustment.
yeah, and one of the complaints, if I can call it a complaint, against Elizabeth was that she wasn't shooting enough threes, and you were the opposite of that. You were like taking tons of them. So why were you a bad friend and you didn't work on threes with her?
She could shoot them, I promise you. If you saw her in a workout, she can shoot threes. She just, I guess, decided her fadeaway was good enough that she didn't need to in games. But, seeing her in the WNBA now, like I'm sure we'll see some of that coming from her, especially she might be a stretch four, stretch five now, with Asia Wilson on her team. So be on the lookout for her threes coming. I promise you she can shoot them. There'll be some days in practice she could shoot better than me. Um, She was just a little shy in games, but
That's okay. That's no small praise coming from you, like the school
no,
record
she's
holder in threes
she.
made in a
I
season.
promise,
So
Liz
yeah.
Kitley can shoot threes.
Yeah, the coolest thing about it is that Coach Brooks said the same thing. Is
She
that she
can.
can, she just doesn't want to. And I was like,
Yeah. I
why?
guess the rest of her game is just so good, no one can stop it.
Okay, so since we're already talking about the WNBA and your teammates, there's Georgia and her
Hmm.
situation that she's going through. So, how good was she during workouts, and how good do you think she can be after hopefully she returns healthy from the
Yeah.
ACL tear that she suffered?
Um, Georgia was, a really big part of our team. She was our point guard and held us together. For her situation, she came in and she was a freshman point guard, and we didn't have a point guard on our team, and she was kind of thrown in the ACC and expected to do so much as a young point guard. And I think you can just see from that first year to her last how much she grew. She didn't shy away from how tough the job was because a lot of people I think would. She just took it and she was by Coach Brooks' side and like the gym and film. You should have seen them in workouts. It's like a little mini Coach Brooks on the side. They'd always be going up to each other, but even in workouts, her work ethic is really crazy. I feel like she's like we called her like a little energizer buddy. I feel like she never got tired. She was always working on improving her game, and both her and Liz were really good at, learning new skills and implementing them really fast into games. Like we'd see her, Coach Brooks teaching her a new move, and then that next week she's trying that move in a game and shocking all of us. But she's special because she can shoot the ball like crazy, but she's also, have the handles and speed to get by you. So guarding her is like you have to pick your poison. And
Hmm.
I I remember having to guard her my first year. I wasn't on the starting team, so I'd be guarding her a bunch in practice, and it's just every single practice you have to battle to try and guard her.
Yeah,
But and it's really unfortunate about her injury. Yeah, I woke up again because the time difference. So I saw that in the middle of the night here, and my heart broke a little bit, especially knowing our other teammate Elizabeth Kitley went through this last year, right before the WNBA season. No, I was excited to see. I thought Georgia could have made like a direct impact in the WNBA this year. But talking to her, her hopes are still high. Her mentality is there. She's excited to hit the rehab just like she hits everything else. And I have no doubts that she'll be back and making an impact next year. So um, yeah, just ready to see her on the court, really.
yeah. Fingers crossed for that. Awesome. That she has like such support from her former teammates. That's
Mhm.
always like great. And as you mentioned, your freshman year, you didn't start a single game. And I
Mhm.
want to ask you, were you prepared for that, joining the school? And how did Coach Brooks explain to you that your time will come? You just need to wait.
Yeah, I did. And I think part of it was my dad just saying like in college it's every best player, like the from your high school team, it's everyone's best player now in college. So it's pretty much starting over and trying to earn your time and earn the respect of players and coaches through like work ethic. And so going into college, I did not expect anything. I knew that playing time would be like sparing and probably wouldn't start, but I was just excited to have a new challenge, really, coming from high school and, of course, playing 40 minutes a game and being the leader on the team. And now going into college, especially ACC, like I grew up in Greensboro, and that's where the ACC tournament was. And my cousin played at Boston College, so I watched plenty of ACC games growing up as a kid. So I knew the girls were big. I probably would have to get a little stronger, put some weight on. The game is a lot faster. Sometimes people don't realize the difference from high school to college, the speed of everything. So there's an adjustment there. And pretty much that's what Coach Brooks explained to me. Like, just keep working hard in practice. Like he sees it, he sees what we're doing. Um, and like when your time comes, like every minute you do get on the court, show him why you should be playing. And obviously that worked out for me and came to my sophomore year and
Hmm.
I was a starter ever since. So, it wasn't easy. It's not the easiest sitting the bench coming from high school, but when you sit back and like think about why you're doing it and like the purpose behind it and there was seniors and juniors on the team that did the same time, like they waited for their turn and pretty much that's what you have to do. So,
Yes,
hmm
especially since you're a kid and it's hard to,
hmm
like, you don't have the tools yet to understand that
Yeah, there was
yeah,
a lot to learn, a lot to learn.
yeah. But luckily, the wait wasn't long because next year you became a starter and kept that
hmm
position for the next 4 years. So, was there a particular moment when you can pinpoint that you were like, I'm here, I belong in the ACC and on this particular team?
I would, I mean, sophomore year, I had a really good game coming out. I think it was the first ACC game. Um, because our in non-conference we play the mid-majors, and I had good
Hmm.
games then, and I was looking forward to seeing how I would go up against our ACC competition. And then I had a really good uh, ACC opener game, and I was like, okay, yeah, like this is something. But ever since the summer, and honestly freshman year, like our coaches always like had the utmost confidence in me. Um, so I feel like just having them behind you, it always helps. And um, at times they would have more confidence in me than I had in myself. But and even my teammates. So I think the support system in college was something that really helped me along. Because there's ups and downs all the time in seasons, and just having that support, especially even from family, like my dad and my mom and my brother and all of them. Um, it's they're one of the reasons I could like see myself playing there.
Hmm. Yeah, okay. And what was the most memorable game of your college career? And why did it happen on November 7th, 2022? No, I'm just joking. Was the game in which you made 9 3 pointers the most memorable or not
I don't
really?
know. I mean that was a great personal record, but if someone asked me that question, that's definitely like probably maybe closer towards 10. We had a lot of good games as a team, One of the most memorable is on our senior night. I think it was on our senior night. We played NC State at home and I had a game-winning pass to Liz for a buzzer beater and it was like a sold out crowd and like the way
That's
the gym
big,
got
yeah.
so loud was crazy. Our ACC championship is up there. That was definitely a moment, like our first time in school history. Um, and then we also hosted college game day and we played UNC at home and sold out. So that was a really fun. We've beaten UNC twice, or we beat UNC at the buzzer too at UNC. So I feel like some of those like team moments are definitely the ones that come to my head. Um, Originally, and those are going to be like my top games. And then I can't like the Elite Eight and the Final Four games
Hmm.
are
Yeah,
like those were very fun too. Just playing, Tennessee, Ohio, like these like all-time great schools and getting to represent Virginia Tech and making it to the Final Four for the first time was like something I'll always remember.
yeah, yeah. And the atmosphere is just something different, right? Like
hmm
the young. Okay.
We worked to get that my first year. It was like smaller crowds, but I feel like our team just playing the right way and we gradually got better every year and we were really good with the fans and really nice. We loved engaging with them and I think they could see that and see that our like friendships on the court were like very genuine and our chemistry was there. So we ended up building a really good women's basketball atmosphere at Virginia Tech. And even going back now, it's like nice to see that it's still there. And the fact we got to sell out games was like something that was really cool. Because originally, like that just happens for men's teams and women's sports.
Hmm.
It's up and down sometimes, but knowing that we did that was really fun.
Okay. And were those relationships part of the reason that you and Liz decided to stay that extra year?
Yeah, I mean, so we had our COVID year.
Hmm.
Everybody had that year to choose if they wanted to come back, and college was once in a lifetime. So the fact that I could stay for another year, it wasn't even a decision of like would I go to another school. If I was taking my fifth year, it was going to be at Virginia Tech. Um, yeah, I couldn't have seen myself in another uniform or under another staff, but um, it was an easy decision for me, and I can say the same for Liz. Like once we knew we had that fifth year,
Yeah.
it was just like a blessing to be able to play another year.
And this time you guys did communicate on the decision, right? This time, or not really?
We communicated, but we definitely it was like a no-brainer for both of us to come back and
Okay.
play.
Okay. Awesome. So your college career is over, and then
Hmm.
it's decision time, right? And you
Yeah.
decide to move to Slovenia. Why did you pick Slovenia out of all the places that were probably available to you?
Because I think that they know basketball there, the team has produced a lot of good players. A girl from Slovenia just got drafted this year. So they've had a lot of success with their basketball, and I think that was what I was looking for, just for one of my first teams to just get exposure because like not apparently, European basketball is a lot different than how we
Hmm.
play in college, and I thought that would be a good spot for me to just learn and get exposed to it.
And did you got to experience the famous, well, it is kind of famous nature in Slovenia because I mean they
Hmm.
have wonderful lakes, a lot of like
Yeah.
green all
I,
around.
I would say I wish I got to do more. I mean, we were really busy with basketball.
Yeah. Okay.
But I got to do at least locally. Like I went on a couple hikes and like walks around. We had the mountains and
Hmm.
we went to a couple nearby countries. I do wish I went to a couple more places in Slovenia, but I did enjoy the nature. I love the outdoors. Like I like here I'm outside every single day.
Hmm.
Um, so no, it was a really pretty place.
Okay. And the last question I have is, do you already have plans for the next season after you're done in
Not
Australia?
yet,
Not
no,
yet. Okay. Just enjoying the
no.
moment.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no plans yet.
Okay. And when is your season up in Australia?
Uh, I think our last regular season game is August 1st, and our team we've come close in a lot of games. We haven't been winning, so uh maybe if we hit a little streak right now, we can still
Hmm.
make playoffs, but gonna have to win a lot of games. So, that's still the goal to go to playoffs and but right now, we've made the team really competitive, and that's big leaps from their past few years. So, um,
Okay.
we'll get
So
there. But
so
August
August
1st,
first is the time when
and then
teams,
if playoffs, yeah.
yeah, can reach out to you and start calling you about
Yeah,
future
I think I can
job
start like
opportunities, hopefully.
looking in season, but I'm trying to focus on, right now and um just enjoying it and having fun and um playing like overall good games
Hmm.
and
Okay.
trying to get some wins.
Okay. And I hope you guys do. Okay. So thank you, Kayla, and
Thank
enjoy the
you.
rest of your day. Thank you so much.
You too. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.